WVU has released their first depth chart ahead of the start of 2022's fall camp. Let's go! What's going on, Mountaineer Nation? Jordan Cruz back here with the Country Roads Webcast. Before we get in this video, do a couple favors for me if you would. Hit that like button, give us the thumbs up on this video. That helps this video hit the YouTube algorithm, helps it get out to more Mountaineer Nation. And another way that we can reach more Mountaineer Nation is if you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Helps us, helps you, helps get more of this Mountaineer football content out to Mountaineer Nation. And as always, the link to our merch store can be found in the description of this video. That's a great way to support us here. Get yourself a Country Roads Webcast hat, shirt, cup, sticker, you name it. You can find it with the Country Roads Webcast logo on it, and we really appreciate the support there. That being said, let's get into it. Alright, so ahead of Big 12 Media Days, West Virginia decided to go ahead and release their first depth chart ahead of fall camp. This will probably be the final depth chart we'll see until game week leading up to the game against Pitt in the season opener in the backyard brawl that will take place at Acrisure Stadium, aka formerly Heinz Field. Name change this year if you missed that. But today we're going to break down that depth chart a little bit. This time we're going to look at the defense and the special teams. Okay, starting off on the D-line here. Defensive end, first string Taj Olson, second string Sean Martin, third string Torres Simmons. No big surprises there. I think Taj Olson, one of the more underrated players on the defense, doesn't really get a lot of talk, but he quietly had a great West Virginia career here, and hopefully that continues. This season, Sean Martin, of course, from the same high school I went to, Bluefield High School, so gotta love that, and I think he's set for a really big jump and is going to have a huge future with the Mountaineers and potential NFL-type talent with his size and his skill set. So like that there, defensive end. Defensive tackle, Dante Steele's first string, Jalen Thornton second string, Zakai Lawton, the transfer from Cincinnati, third string there. Jalen Thornton and Zakai Lawton, young guys. Jalen Thornton being a legacy, Zakai Lawton also being a in-state guy transferring from Cincinnati, but from the Charleston area. So excited to see him in a Mountaineer uniform, and I think both those guys play in a reserve role behind Dante Steele this year, but could have bright futures as well. And then nose guard, this is the big one. West Virginia lost Akeem Mesidor, as we all know, but Jordan Jefferson more than ready to step into that starting role. I think guy that came to West Virginia young, but was always one of the strongest guys on the team. Now put into a starting role for the first time since coming here to West Virginia, and I think that's going to really pay dividends for him. And I think expecting some good things from Jordan Jefferson. It's not going to not hurt to lose a guy like Akeem Mesidor, but I think Jordan Jefferson's more than capable of filling that spot. And then behind him, second string, you get Mike Lockhart, the Georgia Tech transfer, and Eddie V, a guy we saw play last year sparingly that also has a bright future. So two young guys there backing up Jordan Jefferson and Mike Lockhart and Eddie V. Then linebackers, let's move on here. Bandit, of course, the competition continues there between Jarrett Bartlett and Linnell Carr. Both listed there as the starter with the or in between. Jarrett Bartlett or Linnell Carr will be the starter at Bandit. Mike linebacker, this is where you get the transfers. Lee Koba, the JUCO transfer, and Tyreek Austin Cave, the Miami transfer. First and second string there, respectively. Look out for Lee Koba this year. He's going to be all over the field making a lot of plays. Will linebacker, two veteran guys as well. Lance Dixon, the Penn State transfer, really came on last season, started to show late in the season. I think this year is really going to impress. He was a top 5 linebacker in the country, 5-star recruit coming out of high school, so I think we're going to really see him turn some heads this year with his athleticism at the Will linebacker spot. Love Lance Dixon. And then Exree Lowe, guy started his career at safety, been a mainstay in the West Virginia linebacking core ever since. Great athleticism for him as well. I think two really good Will linebackers. West Virginia's linebacking core quietly going to be pretty good this year, I think. A lot of people talk about the D-line, but the linebackers, I think, are going to surprise some people as well. And then moving on to the area of concern. Sorry if you hear my dog barking in the background. Who knows what he's in there going off about, but I don't know if you're picking that up or not. But if so, that's just my dog, no worries. And then the area of concern that most people are concerned about in this defense, let's check it out now in the secondary. Starting with the cornerback position. The one player in the secondary that West Virginia is definitely not worried about, Charles Woods, getting the start there at the right corner right now, is listed as a starter with the backup of Rashad Ajayi, the Colorado State transfer. Then at the left corner, I think a little bit surprising right now is Andrew Wilson-Lamp still being first team with the James Madison transfer, Wesley McCormick there behind him. Like I said, this is before fall camp. I think I wouldn't be surprised if later in fall camp, if either Rashad Ajayi or Wesley McCormick takes that other starting spot on the other side there from Andrew Wilson-Lamp. But I think all four of these guys will see the field for West Virginia, and all four have really good potential, especially Charles Woods. I think he's going to be one of the better corners in the conference. Looking at the safeties now, spear position. Now this is where West Virginia brought in some players, Jasir Cox being one of them from North Dakota State, and he's here on the depth chart. Second string listed as an oar role with a former walk-on named Muhammad, and Davis Mallinger still listed as the spear there, arguably the fastest player on the team. Really highly regarded athlete coming out last year. This year now he's ready to touch the field as a redshirt freshman. That's Davis Mallinger 1, and then Jasir Cox or Naeem Muhammad there 2 at spear. Don't rule out Jasir Cox. I think him and Davis Mallinger are almost going to be like co-starters at this position, depending on what the matchup is. Jasir Cox kind of a bigger body, Davis Mallinger smaller but faster, so it depends on what the matchup is. Will depend on who you see there at the spear, I think. Free safety, Aubrey Burke still listed as first string with Hershey McLaurin there behind him, but I think that's going to be a battle. Could flip by the time the game week rolls around, we'll see, but 2 capable guys there at free safety, I think. Cat safety, Marcus Floyd pretty much locked this role down, I believe. Definitely going to be your starter. Second string right now, you got Malachi Ruffin, former corner, former walk-on, transferred to safety, playing behind there, but I would not be surprised to see someone that's coming in, one of these new guys that hasn't yet touched the field really, be the backup there at cat safety. Someone like Jalen Shelton, who I know is traditionally a corner, but I think he could definitely play safety. Jacoby Spells, just to get on the field as a true freshman. Talented corner, but maybe he plays this backup role, spelling Marcus Floyd some at cat safety to get on the field, or Mumu Ben Wahad, of course, is another guy there that could factor in. I think there's other guys that'll factor in. Not saying Malachi Ruffin may not end up the second string cat safety, but I think the ceiling's a little higher for guys like Shelton, Spells, and Mumu, so wouldn't be surprised to see them there. And then, of course, special teams, let's take a look. Kicker, Casey Legg, first string, I think that's expected. First team All Big 12 guy. Parker Grotus backing him up. Transfer from Florida State, brought in to be the kickoff specialist. Holder, still Grayson Malashevich. Punter, right now, they've got Oliver Straw and Colton McGee battling there with the oar in between on the 2 first stringers there. So we'll see how that turns out. Oliver Straw, Australian true freshman. Colton McGee been with the program a couple years there, so we'll see how that battle turns out as they battle out in fall camp. Kickoff specialist, as I said, Parker Grotehouse was brought in to do that from Florida State, but Danny King showed also in the spring game that he has a big leg, so both those guys continue to battle for the kickoff specialist role there, Parker Grotehouse and Danny King. Long snapper is going to be Austin Brinkman, and then a kickoff returner and punt returner here. First time we get some new names kind of listed there to reflect what we saw in the spring game. The situations weren't live, but that's who we saw back there. And that's Sam James. And Sam James is listed as the first string kick returner and first string punt returner. Listed there with him at kickoff return, Jalen Anderson, the Mountaineer running back. And then at punt return, I like Davis Mallinger. I love seeing him there, as I said, possibly the fastest player on the roster. One guy that I think to keep an eye on here that could factor into both of these, I think, is Jeremiah Aaron, the junior college receiver. Maybe, he did some return things there and was really effective, so maybe he'll factor into this battle. I think this remains to be seen, but I love seeing Sam James back there, maybe in a senior year, providing some explosiveness there. Fun fact, West Virginia hasn't returned a punt for a touchdown since 2011, so over a decade now, and hopefully they can get something out of the return game this year. But that's a look at the defense and the special teams depth chart that West Virginia released ahead of fall camp. What are your thoughts here? Do you think that anything stands out to you, or what is something that you think will be different come the start of fall camp? Anything there that you want to chime in with, just drop it in our comments. We love the interaction here with Mountaineer Nation. And as I said, if you didn't already, go ahead and hit that like button, give this video a thumbs up. That'll help his performance. And then if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Helps us, helps you, helps get more of this Mountaineer football content out to Mountaineer Nation. And one more time, merch link in the description of this video. Get you something with the Country Roads Webcast logo on it there. We've got anything you want to check out, hats, hoodies, shirts, socks, phone cases, mugs, cups, buttons, stickers, you name it, you can find it with the Country Roads Webcast logo on it. So be sure and visit that link there in the description. Great way to support us here at the Country Roads Webcast, and we'll have more West Virginia content coming to you here in the near future. That being said, as always, I'm Jordan Cruz, and until next time, let's go Mountaineers.